Let's start the show.
Hello, world. It is another evening at 9 p.m. Eastern and whatever time it is, wherever you are. And I'm so excited to be here on another episode of the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner. And I know my guest tonight is going to bring the fun. I'm super excited for you to learn more about her. And before I introduce her, let me tell those that don't know who I am. My name is Lindsey Vertner, and I'm a peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. I teach female entrepreneurs and ambitious leaders how to master their mindset and increase their self-care, self-worth, and self-discipline. So enough about me, child. Let me introduce my beautiful guest. Her name is Miss Audria Richmond. She was born to break ground, okay? She is a marketing and launch strategist. You find when you know it's time to scale your business model, automate your marketing, and multiply your money. With her incomparable formula of business strategy, unquenchable creativity, and tech savviness, Audria is a force that is impossible to reckon with. A breathing billboard for her trademark tagline, "Be the first to do it first." She is the visionary behind one of the most unmatched and intriguing brands ever, including her signature UnCloned Marketing Method. I just love it. There's so much about her. She's been featured on XO Nicole, Fox, ABC, and more. And listen, without further ado, just let me introduce my beautiful guest, Miss Audria Richmond. Welcome to the Happy Hour Show.
Having me here. I'm so excited. I know we're going to have a good conversation. Our pre-show in the green room, we were having an amazing time. So I'm really excited about this conversation. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us on this evening. I know you could be ruling the world right now, but you are here gracing us with your presence, and I appreciate it. So if you are tuning in, make sure you grab your drink and join. Make sure you share this video out because I know you're going to get some gems, and everybody on your feed needs to hear these gems as well. So comment, love, share. We are here with you and for you. Okay. So Miss Audria, I know that I just ran through your resume, and that isn't even the bulk of it, honey. But tell us, who are you really? Who are you behind the scenes?
So I am a mom, I am a wife, and I am a daughter, an auntie. And on my good day, I'm an amazing good friend. So yes. I am the person that really, when I'm not working, I'm just chilling. I love watching TV. I used to be a flight attendant, so I kind of like got worn out on travel, but I will travel from time to time if I need to. But for the most part, I'm like a really laid back person when I'm not like, out doing marketing and all of that cool stuff, because I kind of like to, I feel like I became like a introvert over the time, like over the years. I feel like I used to be like so wow in your face. And then like over time, I have just like taken a chill pill. And so when I'm not working and grinding and things like that, I love immersing myself in movies and new experiences. So yep, that's me.
Nice. And I know you just went on a movie date with your husband.
Yes.
What movie did y'all see?
We've been going to see every single thing. The last movie that we went to go see was, what's the name of that movie, babe? Like, I forgot. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm like, was it good? Like, I can't even remember it. But when he told me, I got you.
Awesome. So how did you get into marketing? Like, what made that your passion? Was it something that you fell into, or was it something that you always knew, like, this is what I want to do when I grow up?
Actually, it was nowhere on my radar. It kind of came on my radar because, prior to being a marketer, my first career was graphic design and photography. So I had 2 photography studios in Memphis. We ended up having a juicing business. I even had a magazine and all of that cool stuff. But one of the things I was finding as a common denominator as a graphic designer and photographer, was that a lot of people weren't staying in business long. Like, I would do their business cards, I would do their websites and all of that stuff. But then I would check in on them, like a year later, and they would be out of business. And so if I'm a designer and I'm like responsible for your brand, but you don't have a brand in a year, like, what the dealio is. But over time, I realized that I didn't necessarily, I feel like I was always about to go out of business, but it was always that one client that like popped up and saved the day. And I was just like, I'm sick of this. Like, I really want to be able to predict my income. I really want to be able to predict my business and what's going to happen with it. And I'm like, what is it that I'm missing? Because I knew that I wasn't struggling with like ideas and creativity. Like, that was like on full. What wasn't on full was my bank account or having clients. So I was just like, I need to learn how to master this marketing thing, because this is not the business. And so that really kind of took me into this path of like learning everything about marketing. The first book that I read was The E-Myth. Changed my mind. I was like, I need more books like this. I need to go down this rabbit hole. Like, this is the rabbit hole I need to be going down. And I just know that over time, I began to learn like online marketing, offline marketing, inbound, outbound. I really, 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 really like dedicated a lot of my time to really mastering marketing. And then in the first year of me mastering marketing, I made 6 figures. And I knew at that point, this was the missing ingredient. Okay. So I would say I fell into it, but I'm like moonwalking in it now. So I feel really
Yes. Now, I noticed what you just said. Like, you made 6 figures in your first year of making that transition. But I know that there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there, like you just mentioned, that end up going out of business, or, they've been on this block for 5, 10, 15. Well, hopefully it don't take them 15 years.
Never know.
But never know, right? So what would you say, like, how would you tell them to keep pushing as far as, for the majority of people, an overnight success takes 10 years.
Right.
And it seems like
so let me add, I was like 5 years into my business before I became profitable. And so your girl had plenty of broke years before it popped off. And even when it popped off, it was a shock. And it was one of those things where, like, can I do it again? Like, it happened one time, but is this repeatable? Are the strategies I learned, are they replicable? Like, can I do it again and again and again? And so it kind of turned into like, okay, you did it one time, but can you do it again? And so as a result of that, it really helped me understand everything that was going on. And I didn't really have to beat myself up, because I was like, okay, I learned a skill where I can just keep learning and mastering this thing, and it keeps getting better and better over time.
I love that. If you're just tuning in, make sure you put your questions down below. And it doesn't have to be about marketing. I know all of y'all aren't entrepreneurs out there. It can be about life, because, we're all humans in this together. So put your questions for Miss Audria down below. And over here in the comments, Miss Shelly says, yes. UnCloned tribe. Woo, woo,
yes.
woo. Dana says, hey, 2 of my faves.
Hey.
Thanks for tuning in, Dana. Chanel, hello, beautiful people. Glad you could tune in. And she loves your pink background.
Thank you.
She said, hex code me, please.
Actually, it's paper. A lot of people think it's like a code or a green screen, but it's actually just paper.
Yeah. There you go. Look. Yeah. That was a whole gym by itself. It's just paper. You don't have to have all the kinks and glitz to get started and do something.
Yes.
That was a whole word by itself. So tell us about like your background, your childhood, because I know that there are still some people that are like, well, she probably came from a silver spoon or something, and that's why she's able to do what she's able to do. But tell us, where did you come from?
So I was born and raised in Memphis, Orange Mound, Tennessee. Look like they know that. And then Memphis, you may know, born and raised, Orange Mound, Tennessee. You know, I was born and raised in Memphis, and my mom was really big in customer service. My dad was a welder, and they met. They had me. Here I am. And as far as my background is concerned, I have 3 brothers. I have 1 sister, all of which still live in Memphis. I'm the only sibling that has like separated and moved to another city. And, you know, coming up, I really was just trying to make it. Like nobody in my family really just pushed me to go to college or anything. It was kind of like, if you got a good job, or if you finished school and got a good job, you was winning. So for me, when I got like to the end of school, I really didn't have a path per se. Like no one was like, you got to go to school. You got to do this. You got to do that. Like I wasn't really pressured like that. And so it was actually a boy that I was dating at the time who introduced me to the computer and the internet. And when he introduced me to the computer and the internet, I feel like if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be talking to me. Like I'll still be like some of these other folks, like, man, what this button supposed to do? Like that would be me, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know what I know when it comes to tech and technology and things like that. So that's kind of like how all of this even came about with my background.
And I think there's something to notice there, is that essentially you had to break free from your environment and put yourself around different people to get where you are today.
Yeah. Because, you know, when you're around certain people who are not really pushing you, who's going to push you? You know what I mean? Like if you're in an environment where you're not being pushed, you're just kind of congratulated for being mediocre. Not to say that my family didn't want more for me. It just wasn't pressed on me, because I see other people who have like family members who like, you got to go to school. You got to go to college. My folks weren't like that. They were just like, damn, you made it out of high school. Woo-hoo! Like, that was a win. If you made it to high school, you graduated, you got your diploma. That was a milestone. But no one said go be an entrepreneur, or even gave me the thought or the idea. I didn't even know that was a possibility. I just know that I didn't want to do that no more. I didn't want to work for nobody. I just knew that wasn't cool. And I'm like, ha. What's another way? And it's, here we are.
That is so, so important. And I love that you made that decision for yourself, because listen, y'all, you are the average sum of the 5 people you spend your most time around. So you have to make sure that those 5 people are feeding your soul and not draining you or holding you back or holding you down. Because as awesome as our families can be and our friends can be, sometimes their fears and doubts get projected onto us.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yes.
What do you say about that, Miss Richmond?
That is so true, because sometimes you're not even conscious of it. You know what I mean? You're, like you said, it's one of those things you're not conscious about it. And you could be in a vortex and don't even know it. You could be living your life in the vortex, just living your best life. But I think that's why I'm really big on having different experiences in life. Because if you don't meet new people or get exposed to new people or get exposed to new hobbies or new skill sets, you are going to be limiting yourself in such a way where you can't even grow. And I think for me, it was a boyfriend who showed me a computer. You know what I mean? It was just like, hey, this new computer thing is popping. And it was intriguing to me. And so it took me on my own little journey of like, oh, let me go get my own first computer and put it in the layaway at Walmart. And now I got my first computer, and like, what can I do with this thing? To me, the computer was always fascinating to me. Like I always looked at the computer as a money machine. Like this thing, if I learn something that this thing can do, it's going to spit out money. And so like, like the first money hustle was like, you can do DVD slideshows. And then that turned into, you can do music. Okay, that's another story. I'm gonna skip over that real fast. Then it turned into like, you could do, graduation invitation for your schoolmates. Like, oh, now you can learn how to edit pictures because you like taking pictures. Like, it became this like, the computer became so fascinating to me because I knew that for every new skill, I can make more money.
Yes. And listen, I saw you glaze over that music piece.
Yeah.
I remember when we first got a computer back in the day with the computer and the button. And you had to wait for it to dial up, and you had
AOL. Everybody had their AOL account. Hopefully, you went on the internet. You ain't had no AOL account. Y'all know what you were doing. Yeah,
my IM name, all of that, and so when we had to download music and wait an hour per song, I started making mix CDs for my classmates, selling them for like $5 or $10.
Yeah.
You want a custom label printed on your CD?
Look, I'm better than that now.
Right?
But you already know what the business is.
As Dana says, yes. Tools that we had and putting them to use. Yes. And I noticed that you said that it was your boyfriend that, put that computer into your life. And it's so crazy because that's why we have to be super intentional about who we surround ourselves with, because they can be positive or negative. Because when you had your boyfriend encouraging you, I had a boyfriend that was trying to hold me back.
You got to be able to know the difference.
Man.
Yeah. Is it the hold up or the glow up? You need to know the difference.
Man. And so and it was so crazy because we were such the odd couple. Like, I was always kind of naturally a leader and a go-getter, but it was like, he's really trying to hold me back from some things. Listen, I won't get too much into the story, but whenever he was serious about getting me pregnant in high school,
you already know what the business was. Yeah.
So many red flags. Listen, but this show ain't about me. This is about all of us.
This is the happy hour.
Yeah. happy. But I don't regret any of that, though, because ironically, it was something that he did that put me in the place where I met my husband today. So, I mean,
yes, that's always good, though, because it always be a couple crazy ones before you get to the main one. Because I love my husband, okay? And I know I had to go do some crazy folks to get him, because he's my king.
Yes. I love it. Dana says I can still hear that screeching dial-up connection. Man, and I read it and I heard it right as I was reading it. It's crazy. So we have been talking about husbands and past boyfriends. And tell us, what is it like being this phenomenal businesswoman, the CEO of this amazing brand, and then making it work with your husband? First of all, do y'all have the same personality types?
No. We're completely okay. We both goofy, but you wouldn't know because he reserved his jokes for me. But my husband is very introverted. I am extroverted. We want to do personality types, but he's very reserved and neat and polished and well put together. And me, I'm like, got my elbows at the dinner table, eating like a crazy person. At first, one day he was like, "Did I bring an animal out to eat?" Like, like we are the opposite. Like, his side of the room is all neat and stuff folded, and like on my side is like my brain is like, I got an idea. So I got like 15 books on my side. So like we're definitely totally different in that regard. But I do feel like we complement each other because we both understand where we're going together as a couple.
Yes, I love that. Because I know, especially whenever you have one spouse that's an entrepreneur and another spouse that's not an entrepreneur, you can butt heads.
Yeah, but we're both entrepreneurs. We both work in the business. He had his own business. I have my own business. Then we come together to help each other with each other's business. So yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
We was opposite.
Yeah.
So you had that nice flow because both of y'all understood the mindset of an entrepreneur. So if bank accounts was a little on the lower side, like y'all got it.
Yeah.
How to work through those moments? Did you have any roller coasters?
Yes, we had those moments. I think all couples, well, some people don't be want to tell the truth. We didn't had them moments, okay? We didn't had them days, them weeks, them years where we was like, well, are we still gonna be together through this all? And I think we both had that humbling moment, where we both got to our low and we was like, come hell or high water, this is us. You know what I mean? Yeah. But during those times, it was very unpredictable and like, what are we gonna do? And should we still stay together or should we separate or whatever? Like, and I think at some point I realized like, I don't need to be changing him. He ain't gonna change me. We're going to come together, grow together, and win together. And when we make that decision, I can count on one hand this year how many times we've argued. And I can't even do past my one hand because we haven't argued in a few years because we just made the decision to just love, not try to change. And when people come to me and they be like, what's your marital advice? Don't try to change your mate. You don't want to hear it, but I'm telling you the God honest truth. You stop trying to change your man or your woman, you're going to be A-okay. Learn from me, okay? Dr. Audria. Not playing.
Yes. Get your love advice right here. You heard it first on the Happy Hour Show, folks. Listen, if you're just tuning in, you see that. Don't try to change your mates, whether you're single or in a relationship. That is good advice right there. Yes. And if you're just tuning in, I am here with Audria Richmond, Marketing and Launch Strategist. Make sure that you comment down below, post your questions down below, share this video. Yes. We are having fun. And I want us to hold on to this thought because I have something to say about that. And it's crazy because I just saw a post about it earlier today. And I know that that's going to free some people that are watching right now. But before we get into that part, I think that this is a great time to find out
what's in your cup.
Well,
yes. Listen, make sure y'all comment down below what you're drinking on. And if you forgot your drink, tell us what you're about to go get from the kitchen.
I got to throw my pinky finger because I got to tell you what's in it. You ready?
Yes.
It is water.
I feel like, listen, I'm about to put you on the spot. First, give us a little cup cam.
Opportunities are endless in my life.
I love it. Affirmations on the cup.
Yes, you got to speak life into yourself.
Right. You're drinking it right into you.
Opportunities are endless.
Yes. So I'm going to put you on the spot, Miss Marketing Guru. So listen, sell us this water like it is the best water in
really
the world. Yes. That okay? Can I
really? Well, I can't even think right now. You put me on the spot. I need time to brew up the brilliance.
Oh, okay.
But if I had to think of something immediately, I would begin to think about what are the features and the benefits. Ooh. And are you my target audience? Are you thirsty right now?
Oh, okay.
I got to talk to you like, hey, I need to know, do you even like water? When the last time you had some water? Maybe I can play on your dehydration. Maybe you're a little dry on the inside. You may need some water. So never know. Just say it.
Listen, and see, you just went the complete opposite of the way, but you still started to sell it already.
Yeah.
And all my entrepreneurs that are watching right now, make sure you replay and listen to those questions that she just asked about some water because you can just translate that into your business. Let's see. Miss Vicky says she is drinking Coca-Cola.
Coke.
Yeah. And Tracy is saying she is drinking sweet tea. Yes. I like my tea with the side of diabetes. Don't tell nobody. I like it.
Hey, you might want to throw a slab of lemon in there. It's always taking it to the next level.
Dana is drinking on that magnesium calm drink. Okay.
It sounds super fancy.
I know. I feel like there might be some special ingredient in there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Listen. Today I am sipping on strawberry lemonade. What?
Yes.
Yes.
All of that unicorn. I love that.
Mm-hmm. There's a unicorn. I'm trying to do it slowly because my cup's still kind of full, but a unicorn on the other side. This is actually my daughter's mug.
That is so cool.
Yes. I said, baby girl, I'm going to use your cup tonight. I was going to use my husband's, but it was dirty. So I'm going to use yours instead. So I want to get back to what we started to touch on just a moment ago about you can't change your mate. And I think that especially for women, that is a problem that we have.
A big problem.
Somebody's potential and saying, if I could just get my hands on him, and if we're together long enough, me pouring into him is going to change who that person is, and he's going to be the man I want him to be.
Woo, girl, you in for a rude awakening. Good luck.
Yes. What are your thoughts on that? Because it's a pandemic in that area by itself. You're
so funny.
Together.
I mean, I know for me, when we first got together, I think in my mind, first off, my brain is all about being uncloned. And so to be uncloned means to challenge the norms, be the first to do it first. And I felt like when I came into this marriage, I had like this picture of what it's supposed to have been, like what his roles and responsibilities should have been, what my roles and responsibilities supposed to have been. And whenever it didn't match up, I felt like, oh, this picture is broken. That I've been sold this fat lie, or I was trying to morph us into what it was supposed to be. So like, when people would have like Valentine's Day and people would be getting all their Valentine's Day stuff, I'd be like, man, where my Valentine's Day stuff at? And even though I would get Valentine's Day stuff, I would still be like comparing it to what other people had got, or even like on Christmas and stuff like that. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, dude, you don't really even care about stuff like that. You don't care about Valentine's Day. You don't really care about those things. And it's kind of become this thing like, well, society say you're supposed to care about these things. Society say you're supposed to, make your person go crazy to get you the things that you want. And I'm like, that ain't me though. Like when I really thought about who I was at my core, I stopped trying to have these ridiculous expectations. And then vice versa for him. I don't cook nothing. Okay. So and so, when I talk to my friends, they be cringing because they be cooking full-blown meals. I'm like, more power to you, sis. But I'm at the point now where I'm just like, I want a chef. I want to go out and eat at really nice restaurants. I work my tail off to be able to do that. I'm not trying to slave at a stove. But on the flip side, he's an amazing cook. He can make some bomb smoothies. He can make some bomb meals. And guess what? I don't need that skill. Not to say I can't cook, but I choose not to cook. Right. And so again, that's also unwiring that, societal standard that you have to do this, and this, and this. If you are a woman, you're supposed to cook, clean, fold, and cook, and stay at home. And you're supposed to be career oriented, and you're supposed to be at the top of your game and want it all. You're supposed to be serving and nurturing the kids. And we don't have that kind of stuff in our relationship. And I think that's the reason why we continue to have peace in our relationship, because we're not waking up every day with these premeditated standards of life.
And that's key, because when we put expectations on other people, then we get upset when they don't fulfill those expectations, and it changes the relationship. And just like how whenever people put their expectations on us, it causes us a lot of pressure and overwhelm and stress, because then we feel like we're not good enough because we're not living up to your expectations.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important that we live for ourselves and we don't project anything onto other people, because that gets draining and that gets exhausting. And when you are in charge of making yourself happy, then it's so much more freeing.
Right.
And taking off those expectations of others and knowing that you are good enough just as you are, whether you want to cook or whether you don't want to cook.
Exactly. And knowing it's an option, not knowing that I don't have to wake up and be like, man, if I don't cook today, you're going to leave me. Like, I don't have that pressure. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it feels good but it's also us, we both have an agreement, and I think sometimes that's also can be a problem. Like, do you have an agreement? Right? Because sometimes you might be thinking in your head it's cool not to cook, but your husband might be side-eyeing somebody else because you ain't cooking. And so it needs to be a mutual agreement. You all need to mutually respect each other. You mutually need to understand that. And, I'm going to stop being Dr. Audria right now. But you get
we love Dr. Audria. Come as you are. It's so important because you have to know those things. Like, I had to tell my husband before, like, I need you to remember that never have I ever stated that I was going to cook every single day and clean up this house every single day. Right. Never. Like, I've always been that go-getter. I've always kind of had my own thing, and I need you to know that that's still going to happen.
Yes.
And look, I'm trying to get on your level. I'm working on having that regular personal chef on a regular basis. The older I get, the less I want to cook, unless it's a new recipe I want to try. But otherwise, I look at that kitchen and I'm like, shit, I gotta cook again.
Right.
Where's some pizza?
I'd be like, let's see. I would like this, and this week. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. And I hired a private chef for his birthday a couple weeks ago, and it was so amazing. We sat downstairs and watched a comedy show on the big screen while somebody else was up in my kitchen cooking the most delicious.
Did it feel good? Like, I mean, but that's the life. That's the world we live in. Like, I don't think we realize how accessible luxury lifestyle is, right? To have somebody cook for you the same amount of money it would cost you to go to the grocery store and get all this stuff, right? Like, you're paying for the convenience of living life, and not being so run down in life.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Live your life. Don't be ran down in life. Y'all hear that? It's important. And so you were just talking about luxury. And I think that, especially in the Black community, luxury can sometimes be taboo because society makes us feel like if we are living lavish or we are, having the finest of the fine, that we stole to get it, or we didn't get it, or like we didn't pay some utilities bills to get it. And they're looking at us like, you're not supposed to have that. And so I think we subconsciously pick up on that. And so I love that you have a personal chef. I love that you are living your best life. And I love that I'm seeing more Black people specifically do those things.
Yes. And I think that it's normal in other societies, in other cultures. And for some reason, we see it as like being bougie or being extra, or why you can't cook your own food, you lazy joker. Like, it ain't none of that. Like it wouldn't even be a thing, and I think it kind of boils down to being uncloned, like getting to a point where you don't really give a rat's tail what anybody think. I was about to say something else, but like, you don't really care what other people think. Like, you're not caught up in what people think about you or anything like that. Like, I don't care what people think about me. I know that I wake up, I have a certain feeling, an emotion that I want to have, and I'm going to do that by any means necessary. So I just feel like, live your life, man. Forget them folks. They ain't talking about nothing.
Yes. Yes. All of that and more. I love it. Over here in the comments, let's see. Yes, she says, yes, please. It's time to normalize luxury in the Black community. I love it. I remember when I went to Bali for just a business retreat and to do some things there. And I spent some time like kind of country hopping. Since I was on the other side of the world, I said, well, let me spend some time in Singapore while I'm over here. And it's amazing. Like, I spent half the time with some other Black women, and then I spent half the time by myself. And I remember when I got back, one of my aunts was like, so why exactly did you go to Bali? And I was like, well, I had a business retreat and I spent some self-care time by myself.
Right.
She was like, but why did you have to go all the way to Bali to do it? And
why not?
Right. In my mind, I was thinking like, I don't even got the energy for this conversation today. So I was just like, because it was different and it was outside of the norm and it was amazing. And I left it at that because I knew that there was a whole other mentality there that I didn't feel like explaining in that moment.
And that's another thing. We have to get to a point where we stop trying to explain ourselves, our lifestyles, our decisions. You know, that's another thing. Quit calling everybody and asking them what they think. If they ain't even left, if they ain't never left the suburb, they don't know nothing. Okay, like you got to talk to people who are growing and moving with you, who are also moving and shaking. Like it blows me when people be like, "I'm thinking about investing in a coach. Let me go ask my auntie." You know, your auntie ain't never bought nothing. Ain't bought a course. Ain't never bought. Don't even own a computer. And you gonna ask your auntie? What your auntie gonna tell you? No, you crazy. Why would you do that? Like you gotta ask people. You gotta ask people who are making those same kind of decisions.
Yeah, it is so important. And even like just investing in yourself, that personal investment is the best investment. And it's crazy because I'm planning a retreat right now to Fiji. Hey.
That sounds lit.
Yes. Y'all go to my webpage, sign up. But the thing was like, that was a very intentional decision. Like I had made a post a couple months ago about where would you want to travel? And a lot of people were saying Bali, but then I was like, I feel like Bali is starting to get a little played out. Like it's still awesome, but when's the last time you've heard about somebody going to Fiji? And
it sounds real exotic.
Man. And it was very intentional because, you know, most of them, let's just take a girl's trip to Las Vegas or to Miami Beach or, you know, the normal weekend trips around the corner. And so I was very like, we're going to embrace luxury. We are going to be intentional about our self-care and we're going to go clear across the world to do it because that's going to be transformational for your whole life.
And knowing that you can do it. I think that's the part too that we kind of forget. Like, dude, you're not gonna live forever, so you might as well live it up and have fun. Because our counterparts, they have no problem traveling all around the world. It'd be us that be like, I don't really know. Let's go to Miami. I know exactly what hotel to go to. I know exactly what beach we gonna go to. I even know what restaurant we're gonna eat at. Like we're so predictable, man. Like we need to spice it up a bit in the experience department.
Yes. And I feel like that's part of a limited mentality because I even mentioned that like society puts these limits on us that you touched on earlier. They say that women were supposed to cook, we're supposed to clean, we're supposed to still be well kept and all together while we're cooking and cleaning and raising the kids.
Right. That's a lot.
Yes. They say we can't advance in our business promotions very high and we can't run a successful business and we need somebody else to manage our money and that we can't go anywhere without the kids or without our husbands or anything. And if we do, we're selfish.
Right. Do wrong. You're going to hell. Because I want a weekend off, man. Like,
yes. And I even had someone comment that said, you know, I can spend $4,000 on a trip without my boo. And I was like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because why? Why can't you go invest in yourself and your experience, your personal growth without your husband, without your kids? Men do it all the time.
Right. And don't think about it. They be like, see you later, alligator.
Yes. Ashley says, I would love to visit Seychelles. Is that, look, I try to say it fancy. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to say that.
I was about to jack it up. I was like, I'm going to let you have that one.
I said, I'm going to try the fancy route and say, like, maybe, listen.
I'm like, can you send me a voice memo? What you were saying?
Yes. Can you pronounce that word for me, please?
Right. Look, that's probably cute though, because we don't know how to say it. Like, I think we should go.
Look, when we get off of here, I'm gonna go straight to Google. Like,
what is this?
They're gonna be like, say what? SEYCH.
That's funny.
She said, these are the conversations that I love, and we have to have them. We have to have them. So, speaking of luxury, I know that you recently did a live about your legacy, and I know I am working on my legacy for my family and everybody that's connected with me. I want them to build their legacies as well. So tell us a little bit about your viewpoints on building that legacy. What is that truly?
I think for me, as I move into building my legacy, it's important that I build up my IP portfolio. And so that means having, books. That means having products, worksheets, exactly. Boom, kaboom, boom. That part. Like, let's think about this for a moment. You have a piece of me at your crib. My thoughts, the way I see things, the way I believe things to be true, and you read it in agreement, and you know me. Like, how I think we keep forgetting how cool it is to know an author or to know someone who created something. I know somebody who actually created a course. I know someone who designed and created their own retreat, and they went out of the town and they took people who trust them. And like, we kind of downplay that stuff because everybody is doing it, and everybody is not doing it. We're just so saturated around other coaches and stuff, and it seems like everybody is doing. But when you look at it on a grand scale, we're still really, really, really small, right? In regards to what we do. So for me, it's all about building up my IP, making my brand mean something. So that means marketing the hell out of it, like my life depended on it. It also means learning how to be a better leader, learning how to serve from a place of power, really owning my identity as a woman and as a Black woman and as a business owner, and really getting to the point where when I leave this earth, I can feel proud about myself. I can feel proud of what's going to be passed down. So that means I have to learn stuff that wasn't taught to me. Like, I need to learn licensing. I need to learn how leverage work. How, if I decide, what is it like to sell a business? What is it like to create a business and sell it, not even manage it? What is it like to scale a business or have multiple versions or franchise? Like, that's all legacy type stuff. And so for me, I feel like in order to build your legacy, you have to multiply your brilliance and your excellence. And you do that by creating IP and products and courses and, different experiences that can be a great extension of you.
I love that. And for my non-entrepreneurs that are watching, IP is intellectual property.
That part. Boom.
Okay. And even if you don't have a business and you don't have aspirations to be an entrepreneur or a CEO of anything, listen, you still have intellectual property, IP, that you can pass on to other people. I was reading a book, Les Brown's new book, about You Got to Be Hungry. And he talks about he had a friend that used to cook these amazing meals and everybody loved his cooking. And he always was saying, like, one day I'll make a cookbook, one day. And then all of a sudden he died unexpectedly. And all of those cooking recipes just gone.
And I think that's what we don't think about. We kind of think we're going to live on forever, that the knowledge that we have is going to be here forever. The stories are going to be here forever. And it's so important to capture it. Even if you're not going to capture it for profit, it's more so about capturing it for legacy. Like, it would be so cool to be able to go into a vault and pull out all of the previous generations of family members in their recipes or anything for that matter. Like, you go to dating book from grandma. All the grandma said bake like this. Like, I just feel like we don't have any blueprints, mainly not because we don't know the thing, but because we don't document the thing. We don't know how to package the thing. And I think that's the problem.
Yes. And I document everything. Sometimes it's in the form of videos and pictures. Like, With my children, I was very intentional about, pictures up through that first year, because those are moments you don't get back, trying to treasure. Like, both of them have their own little binders of little moments that I thought were just like, oh, like that is so precious. Like, I would keep this and have this. And then just imagine when they're older and they can look back through that notebook and say, look how, my train of thought, or how how I answered this question, and they can show it to their kids. Like, it's so enriching to be able to look back and see the things that your ancestors did and your past family did, because a lot of us don't have that. I know, like, for myself, I know some of my past family, but for the most part, I don't really know my true familial history. And sometimes I'm like, Dad, I wish I had a way to figure that out.
Right. And then sometimes they can also come, that could be a part of why some people just don't know their purpose. Because sometimes when you don't know your identity or where you come from, it's hard to even know where you're going, you know, because it's like, where I'm from again? So, it's sad, but, you got to push through, but it is worth exploring,
Yes, so very much so. Listen, if you are just tuning in, I am here with the amazing and beautiful Audria Richmond, Marketing and Launch Strategist. Make sure you comment down below, share this video out, show us that you love us and that you are here, okay? I am so happy to have her on the show. And right now, we are about to get ready to do our 30-second hot shot segment. So I got some questions submitted, but if you want your question answered, you got to drop it in the comments right now, or forever hold your peace, because we might not come back to the comments later after the show, okay? We'll do our best, but we are busy women, especially Miss Richmond, okay?
Yes.
This is a great time for
30-second hot shot. Answer the question in 30 seconds or less, or take your shot.
Whoa. So,
oh, snap.
Ooh. Like, literally, my battery died on the scene. I wonder how quick. Daddy! Listen, y'all. Listen, look, we got real on the happy hour show. He probably don't even hear me. Daddy! I would call for my kids, but they should be getting. Hurry! Bring your phone. I need your timer.
You gotta go to Google.
Look, see? I got my computer browser up right here. Google. Why didn't I think of that? Right. We keep it real on the hat. Never mind. You're taking too long. Anyway, let me Google 30-second timer. Ooh, yes. Okay. So I'm going to read the question. And then you will have 30 seconds to answer the questions. Dr. Kenny says, hey, thanks for tuning in. Post your questions for Miss Audria down below. All right. I'm going to read it, and then you'll have 30 seconds. I'll start the timer after I read the question. Are you ready? Here we go. So what does it mean to be uncloned?
It means to challenge the norm, to be the first to do it first.
Oh.
Kaboom. I ain't drinking this water.
When I say that was 5 seconds. Hey, husband. Can you come say hi to the people?
What's up?
Hey, what's cracking?
Hello, world. Meet my husband, Tyrone. I'm surprised he still came down here. Why, thank you. I found an alternative, but I needed a timer. But I appreciate you. Thank you. Did y'all hear that beep? That timer was loud.
It works.
Yes. Let me change it back to 30 seconds and get it started again. That was my husband's first appearance on the Happy Hour show.
Hey, never look. We unwound around here. This is what happened.
So the next question says, What tips would you give to someone that wants to build their business but doesn't have the funds to invest in a marketing strategist yet?
Mm-hmm. Well, you need to be willing to show up consistently, dedicate your time to creating content, because that's how you're going to get on. Some of the most best people we've ever seen have gotten on through consistency, through a podcast, through a live stream show, very similar to this. The goal is to be consistent, build your audience, and the rest will follow.
Nice. And you still had time to spare.
Hey, yes. I ain't drinking this water. I told you.
Listen, next time we're going to have to make it more challenging and throw a shot or two in your water.
Hey.
Make it lemonade with a shot. Dr. Kenny says, this looks fun. Yes, it is fun. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern this month. Okay. You're getting a double dose. Dr. Felicia says, different.
Yes. Hey.
You have to be different. You have to be uncloned.
Ta-ta.
Yes. And so I have a signature question that I have to ask all of my guests. And this one, you can take longer than 30 seconds because it's important. So for those that don't know, as you can see, I'm all about the happiness and being intentional about creating happiness in every moment that you can, being intentional about living a first-class life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness, because that doesn't just happen out of nowhere. You got to shift your mindset, put in the action, do the work, and you got to be intentional about creating that life for yourself. So tell us, Miss Audria, how do you intentionally create happiness in your life?
Whew, great question. For one, I have positive affirmations on pretty much all of my products in my house. So I have like pillows with affirmations on our bed sheets, pillowcases, just all around me on my shirts and products that I wear. The other thing I do is I make a plan. I feel like, when you make a plan, even if it don't go as planned, you are setting the intention to do something awesome. You're giving yourself a guide. Even if it don't go exactly like that, you can't say I'm lost or confused or overwhelmed, because you have a plan. And that's why I'm really big on plans. And especially when you're creating marketing plans, you need to really kind of know, like, okay, I'm going to go live on this day. That's being intentional. I'm going to go live at 5. That's being even more intentional. But when I go live at 5, I'm going to have this person, and this person is going to, show up with this kind of energy, and you kind of predict what's going to happen. I'm not saying being the psychic, but you want to kind of set the tone and begin to think about future pacing, what you desire and what you want. So for me, I do a ton of future pacing. I'd be like, okay, I pre-write emails I want to receive from people. I know, not weird, but it's cool, because I'm just like, I would love to receive this type of email from this type of person. I don't know who it is, but they're going to send me this type of email. And it always happens. So I would definitely say future pacing for sure.
Yes. So do you actually write the email and send it to yourself?
I don't send it to myself. I write it down. Now, I could take a step further, be a little bit more intentional and send it to myself, but I write it down because I feel like I'm intentionally writing what I want to receive. I remember talking about a particular person business. She's in a travel business, and I was like, man, this lady is so dope. She got the dopest travel company. I was talking about her on one of my coaching calls. Soon as I got off the coaching call, I had a support ticket from her saying she wanted to work with me. This was the most craziest thing ever. I was like, okay, all right, now she's my client. So it's crazy.
Yes. And that's what being intentional does. I say all the time, when you have fuzzy intentions and don't really know what you want, you get back fuzzy results. And that's how you end up settling and being like, oh, well, I'll take this life. It's not what I truly desire, not what I really wanted, but I'll take it because I'm scared that if I try to receive more, that I'm a fail.
Right.
Ooh, that's a whole
that's deep
right there.
And you gotta go make some folks cry. This is a happy hour.
Listen, we're gonna have to talk about fears and doubts and living in belief on another live, y'all. Okay. Because this is the happy hour show. As you can see, we're all about having fun and creating happiness, not only for us, but for you watching at home as well. I want to just thank my beautiful guest, Miss Audria Richmond, once more for spending some time with us to come and chat on the happy hour show. Make sure that you sign up for updates at bit.ly/happy updates. We are already halfway through season 1. And as I said, usually it's just Tuesdays and sometimes Thursdays, but all of September, we have episodes every Tuesday and Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you sign up for updates, because sometimes we have special airings that are outside of those and you want to know. And also, we sometimes have happy hour exclusive specials from our guests that only goes to those VIPs that are subscribed on the list. So make sure you subscribe and share and comment. And I know that the lovely Mrs. Richmond has a nice
promo code,
nice gift for the viewers today. Tell us about your gift.
So you get 15% off in my online shop from now to the end of the year. And you can come and get some really cool templates. I have some really cool Canva templates, really cool marketing courses and tools. And then obviously my latest book. Gonna save you some money. Okay. So yeah.
Get your copy. And listen, don't wait till December. Get it now. Get it
right.
now.
Get on in there.
It might be sold out by the time December comes, okay? Or there's going to be more stuff that you're going to want. She's going to have something else. So spend your discount now. Then treat yourself next month, and then next month, and December too. Get some Christmas gifts. See?
Right.
Spread the love. Spread the love. So tell them how they can connect with you. I have it on the screen, but just grace them with your voice and let them know.
So my name is Audria Richmond, and I'm Audria Richmond across all social media channels. I am, yes, on Periscope, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. I'm there. You can find me, Audria Richmond.
Awesome. Now make sure you tune in this upcoming Tuesday as I bring on Olympic swimmer, Miss Deborah Gardner, 9 p.m. Eastern. Again, you see the link down below on where you can sign up for updates. My name is Lindsey Vertner, your peak potential strategist and transformational speaker. And I'm so glad that you decided to spend your hour with us tonight on the Happy Hour Show with Lindsey Vertner and my special guest, Audria Richmond. And with that, I bid you farewell. I shall see you next Tuesday.